WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. A significant drop in the number of new COVID-19 cases in Mississippi. The Mississippi Department of Health reports 476 new positive tests, along with 16 deaths. There are currently 175 outbreaks reported inside long-term care facilities in the state. 1,151 people are currently in the hospital with confirmed or suspected coronavirus. 334 of those patients are in ICU. 198 people are on a ventilator. 18 to 29-year-olds continue to lead the case count in Mississippi. State health officials did not provide a presumed recovered number today, as they usually do on Monday. Governor Tate Reeves says the state's 7-day rolling average in cases is down. The Mississippi State Department of Health is releasing hospital data and availability on its website. Right now, there are 3 open ICU beds in the Golden Triangle. The data was last updated on Sunday. It shows there are 10 COVID patients in ICU at Baptist Golden Triangle and 2 available beds. OCH Regional Medical Center has 4 COVID patients in ICU and no ICU beds available. North Mississippi Medical Center West Point has 1 open ICU bed available and no COVID patients in that unit. The Tupelo Hospital has 10 patients in ICU and 11 available beds in the critical care portion of the hospital. Several employees in the Columbus Municipal School District have tested positive for COVID-19 since school began on Thursday. Superintendent Dr. Cherie Labat confirms to WCBI that several employees have been quarantined after testing positive or having a low-grade fever from temperature checks. In a statement, Labat says some employees have tested negative but cannot return to school because they have a fever. Labat says, quote, "We are being transparent while protecting the medical privacy of our employees," end quote. Internet access in rural areas like Noxubee County has been an ongoing issue, and with the school year set to take off next week, the school district has a plan to make sure students and teachers have what they need for virtual learning. WCBI's Bobby Martinez joins us now live in the studio with more. Bobby?
Joey, 4 County Electric Power Association chose Northern Noxubee County for a pilot internet program. Now other companies are also taking note of the growing issue. This issue was growing as more students will get their lessons on a computer this year. Now administrators are working around the problem to help their kids in virtual classrooms.
This is history in the making.
Having little or no internet service is a common reality for rural areas like Noxubee County. Terry Lewis, principal at Arrow Nash Elementary, says it was important for the school district to come up with a plan to make sure each student has internet access.
Providing them with these hotspots and these internet services will allow them to be able to do the work that is necessary for them to continue on their trajectory to college and career readiness.
Administrators are taking steps for virtual learning and installing remote internet connections, bringing classrooms to the car.
Our school district is purchasing laptops for our students and our teachers, and our district is also placing hotspots within the different various parts of the community so that the people who do not have internet service will be able to drive up to these hotspots and access the internet.
Erica Smith, assistant principal at Arrow Nash Elementary, says students and teachers will be using a unique platform for the first few months of school.
Our virtual model will use the Microsoft Teams platform, and that is our primary source for our students these first 9 weeks.
Smith says smartphones with internet access will also be available to students.
We are living in a time of technology. If they're unable to have access within their home, we have many smartphones that students and parents have access to, and they can use internet with those devices.
And the need for virtual capabilities is being noticed. Dave Miller, spokesperson for C Spire, says the demand for internet services in rural areas have skyrocketed in recent months.
They've seen just demand go out of the roof. We've had, probably 50, 75, 100% increase in demand for those services. People want to be connected. Really important to have a really good internet connection, and that's really what C Spire majors in.
Rice says roughly 70 students will be on campus for the hybrid model. But on Friday, all classes will be virtual while the school will complete a deep cleaning.
Now down in Jackson today, the Mississippi House of Representatives moves forward with a vote to override a veto by Governor Tate Reeves In a 118-2 vote, House lawmakers vote to override the partial veto of the education budget. The measure now moves on to the state Senate. A 2/3 majority will be needed to override the veto. A teacher bonus program and the Department of Marine Resources budget were also on today's agenda. Some House members, including House Speaker Philip Gunn there, are suing Governor Reeves over other vetoes. Those were not addressed today. The list of potential new state flag choices has been narrowed to 225. There were more than 2,000 submissions to the Mississippi Department of Archives and History. Members of the new State Flag Commission selected 25 of their favorites to get to that 225 number. Commissioners will trim that number to just 5 by August 14th. That's when residents can provide comments on the MDAHS's website. The selection voters will see on the ballot will be unveiled on September 2nd. Community and business leaders in Lowndes County want to be a bridge toward racial equality, and they plan to start with conversations. Columbus Air Force Base, City of Columbus, and Lowndes County are hosting a panel discussion live on Facebook tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Participants include Mayor Robert Smith, Base Commander Colonel Seth Graham, and Police Chief Fred Shelton will be there. Also will be educational leaders and local pastors. The group will discuss issues surrounding race, including the importance of diversity and the church's role in healing racial tensions. You can be part of that conversation too. Just tune in to the, the Facebook Live event tomorrow at 5:30 on Mayor Robert Smith's page. You can also leave your questions and comments there during the discussion.
We've been keeping an eye on some very isolated showers and storms across the area, most of which have died down now. We are watching one little cell down in southern Choctaw County and some pretty heavy pockets of rain in eastern Lamar County. For the most part, though, the rest of us are just dry, hot, and humid. Take a live look outside from the Alpha Insurance Camera Network. Even a little bit of blue sky here in Columbus and Louisville. We're 90 right now down in Winston County, 82 in Vernon, still 97 in Tupelo. And unfortunately, the temperatures are going to stay warm here over the next several days, but rain chances increase. I've got the latest on that coming up in just a bit. Joey.
A groundbreaking today for Cornerstone Park in Starkville. The estimated $4 million project will be home to baseball tournaments for teams across the state. Our Stephanie Poole joins us live in the studio with more.
That's right, Joey. For Starkville and the surrounding community, today is the first step towards a field of dreams, an investment in what they hope will be the future baseball capital in Mississippi. Now, in order to make that a reality, they're getting in the soil to kick off the project, and they hope if they build it, well, you know the rest. In 2 years, it'll be time to play ball at Cornerstone Park. The new recreational facility allows baseball teams to hold practices and tournaments.
I expect it to be a regional draw that extends into Alabama, Louisiana, hopefully Tennessee, and points all around the state of Mississippi.
Starkville Mayor Lynch Brule says with large numbers coming in, city revenue will soar.
Sports tourism is a big economic development driver, so it is my hope that the activities out here at Cornerstone will be pretty much constant on the weekends, and from that we'll derive the attention and the heightened interest in Starkville as we go forward with MSU hand in hand and create a sports tournament facility and create Starkville as a Mississippi's baseball capital.
It's a supplement to the things that the city's already doing. Tournament and travel ball is a multi-billion-dollar sports tourism economic driver. We anticipate that this will allow the city to put themselves in a position to be a player in that game.
Starkville Park's interim director David DeQuilla says there will be 10 to 12 fields depending on contractor bids. With phase 1 of the project underway, deciding finishing touches is the last on the checklist.
We're working on the final designs, lighting, turf grass, buildings, and a GC contract for the overall construction. Those will go out on the street in late fall.
And they are anticipating up to 30 weekend games per year.
It's going to be useful for our youth during the weekdays. This will be a recreation opportunity.
Construction begins in January of 2021. The projected finish date is set for the spring of 2022.
Here's the latest development on a story we first told you about this weekend. Investigators are still trying to find what may have sparked a Brooksville apartment fire. The blaze happened on Saturday night at Brooksville Manor Apartments. 4 apartments received fire, smoke, and water damage. Only 3 units were being lived in. Knoxville County Fire Coordinator Jim Robbins says no one was injured. People living in the 3 apartments lost most of their belongings. There's a lot more to buying a car than walking on a lot. Find out. Mississippi dealers stay up to date and find out how they stay up to date just ahead on WCBI News at 6.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Joey Barnes.
Welcome back, everyone. From the Golden Triangle to Washington, an area car dealer is elected by his peers to continue representing the state on a national level. Michael Joe Cannon, owner of Cannon Ford Lincoln of Starkville, will serve as the director of Mississippi on the National Automobile Dealers Association board. He'll be in charge of keeping the more than 150 new car dealers in Mississippi informed on legislative regulatory affairs that may be coming up, as well as issues or concerns that are happening on the national level. Cannon has been in the automobile industry for more than 3 decades and says he's thrilled to represent the state for a 3rd term.
We always feel like you got to give back, right? And the more you give, I've always thought the more you get back. And so it's an honor and a privilege to be able to serve and represent all the great dealers we have in this great state of Mississippi. And so wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for great employees being able to take care of things while I was at home and also taking care of our great customers.
Cannon's new term will officially begin in March 2021, and he will hold that position for the next 3 years. A barbershop program provides haircuts for a back-to-school program. Barbers at BN Style in Tupelo gave the haircuts, part of an outreach called Youth Make a Difference Day, and it was organized by 2 groups, Jules Mentoring and Millennial Outreach Foundation. Along with the free haircuts, backpacks of school supplies were given to kids. Organizers say they were still looking for a way to help families with school-age children.
I'm just hoping to be influential and send out encouragement to let the community know that there's someone out here thinking about them and that they don't have to fight any battles alone, that we are here to support and help in any way that we can.
A lot of times, just to be honest, a lot of people just can't afford a back-to-school haircut or school supplies. So these type of events are very much needed, just to, even aside from the money aspect, just showing that we do care.
Now, there were also bags filled with personal hygiene items for those heading off to college. I was just saying I need a haircut, but more importantly, it was good to be inside. It was hot in Tupelo today.
Ridiculous, and it's still hot up there right now because they didn't get any rainfall.
We did.
Here in the Golden Triangle, we were a little bit more lucky, and that's really going to be the trend here for the next several days. Temperatures staying hot and humid, heat index over 100, but if you're lucky enough, some of those showers and storms will have to cool you down just a little bit. I've got details on the timing of the rainfall coming up right after the break. Stay with us.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Trevor Burchett.
We called for a 20% chance of rain today, and that's just about what we got. Most folks did not see rain. Starkville, Golden Triangle area, one of the areas that did get a little bit more in the way of rainfall, but I am going to increase our rain chances here over the next several days. 40% for Tuesday, and we'll go about a half and half chance for some rainfall Wednesday through the end of the week. Even into the weekend, the chance will be there for some showers and storms. Of course, the good news is with all this heat and humidity, if you get caught in a downpour, it's going to knock your temperatures down just a few degrees. Speaking of those temperatures, here's where they set right now. Tupelo, Houston, Chickasaw County didn't get any rain today. They are still at 97 degrees up there. Starkville, just a little bit of rain down to 88 as well in West Point, 87 in Vernon. And really, the folks that got the rainfall today are down into the mid-80s as opposed to the mid-90s. But when you factor in the heat index, it's still downright hot just about everywhere. Feeling like 100 in West Point, feels like 115 right now in Ackerman, 104 in Bruce, and 108 in Houston. So some dangerous heat out there. Definitely want to limit your time outside and stay hydrated if you have to be out in the sunshine over the next couple of days. Here's a radar right now. As I mentioned, some showers and storms earlier today in the Golden Triangle. Most of that has fizzled out. We are watching one little shower there in eastern Lamar County. Gust of wind coming through Vernon, but I think the storm itself is going to stay off to your east. Also, some very isolated downpours in southern Choctaw County and one little shower there right at the Clay and Webster County line. Overnight tonight, I really think we're mostly dry. 74 for the low. We're going to stay mostly clear, and that makes for some good weather to check out the Meteor Shower, the most active meteor shower of the year. The Perseids are coming up really tonight. and for the next several nights, 40 to 50 meteors an hour. Best viewing for that after midnight. And really, they're going to be all over the sky, but your best bet to see those is to look away from the moon and, of course, get away from any of those city lights. Tomorrow, though, basically the same as today. We wake up mostly sunny. Temperatures warm through the afternoon, 96 for the high, with the chance for some showers and storms. Not everybody sees rain, but, of course, that will help to cool you down just a little bit if you see some rain. And that's really going to be the trend here for the next several days. A 40 to 50% chance for some afternoon and evening showers and storms through the weekend. Even Sunday and Monday, we'll throw in the chance for some pop-up storms. Temperatures really don't go much of anywhere. We're going to stay hot and humid with highs in the low to mid 90s, overnight lows in the mid 70s.
The high school football season begins to wind down with stop number 50, or tour that is. The tour checks in with the New Hope Trojans. Next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
The high school football tour continues on with the New Hope Trojans. The Trojans return after their first year in 5A, looking to be a competitive force in 2020. New Hope is stop number 50 on the high school football tour.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour is brought to you by Itawamba Community College, Cannon Ford of Starkville, Monroe County Farm Bureau, Max South Broadband, and the Bank of Vernon.
The New Hope Trojans are hungry for a football season. The Trojans return to work after the team's first year in 5A, finishing 3-9 overall. While New Hope was put to the test by big teams such as Houston, Lafayette, Itawamba, and West Point, the Trojans are hoping to rise to the challenge in 2020.
Last year we felt like we took a step closer, getting more competitive in games, shoring up some things, and take that. And we've had a really good offseason, really great group of kids, so taking that into the season this year.
We did a pretty well plan together, and we want to just up it this year. Maybe we can go all the way.
I mean, yeah, it was a little difficult, but, you know, we get, used to it, you know, we come together.
A week's a new week, and you got to play the best to be the best. You know, we might not have as much talent as every other team, but if we work hard, we'll be where we want to be. That's just be state champs.
Although the Trojans have been young in past years, the Trojans have more experience on the defensive side of the ball.
I feel our defense is our strong suit right now. We're going to lean on them a little bit. We're still very young on the offense, a ton of juniors and sophomores. We're going to be out there. We feel like all of our skill positions on offense have improved tremendously. We feel like the whole overall attitude of the team is different. The focus is different. The drive, the effort, everything's just is more right now.
We coming together. We coming a long way, you know. As long as we keep each other, you know, and hold each other accountable and everything. That's how it's about.
While the Trojans might be a younger team than others, the experience is there to find success.
We've had a lot of players on this team that have a lot of snaps under the belt now. So we have a lot of senior leadership. We have a lot of junior leadership, and we have, like I said, we got a lot of PT with these kids. So these guys know what Friday nights look like in 5A football, and that's something that we haven't had prior years.
First Friday night, we want to play hard, play fast, play physical, and show them who we are. We have the work ethic and the attitude every day to show up we know we can be state champs.
New Hope starts the season off at Houston on September 4th. With the Trojans on the high school football tour, Courtney Robb, WCBI Sports.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour with New Hope High School is brought to you by H&R Agri-Power in Columbus.
It's crazy to think, but we are officially in the home stretch of the high school football tour. Our last final 10 stops continue on throughout this week and into next week as well. Stop number 51 on Tuesday checks in with Caledonia, and then stop number 52 on Wednesday checks in with the New Albany Bulldogs. Then we head to Louisville on Thursday to check in with stop number 53 with the good old Louisville Power Cats. Stop number 54 on Friday checks in with the Lafayette Commodores. Stop number 55 on Saturday checks in with the reigning state champs in Oxford. Saltillo will be on Sunday for stop number 56. We'll get into the Greenies with West Point on Monday and much more after that. Of course, for any of those stops you've missed along the way, visit our website at WCBI.com. That's it for sports. More for you when we come back.
Rain chance is going to increase here over the next several days, but still not everybody is going to see rain. We'll call it about a 40 to 50% chance through the weekend. The good news is if you get caught in a downpour, it is going to help to knock those temperatures down just a little bit. Otherwise, staying hot and humid with highs in the low to mid 90s and humidity staying pretty high, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, it's August. What you going to do?
Here, can't complain that much.
It is. Hopefully we'll be lucky enough to get under one of those thunderstorms.
Fingers crossed.
All right, thanks, Trevor. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a good night.